Hey everyone, welcome to Gary's World and Workshop. So today's video is all about the making of paint skin jewelry. So here we go, folks. We're going to give you a demonstration on what this is. All I got here is a piece of glass and some wax paper over top of it. And I got a bit, just for demonstration purposes, I'm showing you a little bit of paint. This is not generally what I do, the way I do it, but you'll see as we go along. So a couple of colors there, some goldish colors, some black, some pink, some white now. So just using very little paint. This is just a demonstration thing here. So all I'm doing is I'm just pouring it right over top of the wax paper, and like a circular motion. They call it a ring pour actually when you're doing that on an actual piece of artwork. I'll give you a demo on that there very shortly too. You'll see. So it's just a ring pour. I keep ringing. This is speeding it up a bit because it's a bit of a slow process. The hardest part is just keeping that ring. And then I just dump around the outside, whatever's left in the cup, because it's all, what's in the cup is garbage anyway, so I might as well try to use it if I can. So once you do that, you just pick up the glass and you start moving it around. What you're trying to do is you're trying to thin the paint out. At the same time, you're trying to keep a pattern, like your rings pattern you see in here, or whatever you like. Whatever you start seeing something you like it, you try to keep it there by going in a circular motion. So look at them golds and stuff in the lines. Oh, it's gorgeous. So you just keep doing that. There you have it. So once that's done, you let that dry. Now this is what I generally do when I'm doing a piece of artwork. But I have a little piece of plywood here that'll demonstrate with you. Just a piece of plywood like you buy at a craft store or something for doing crafts. So basically I'm going to make a coaster out of it. So I have the same paints again. This time I just put them in the cup in reverse order. So this would be like if I'm doing an actual painting now, and I'm going to use the ring pour. There's several different kinds of pours you can do. There's like a flip cup and a Dutch pour and the ring pour and the dirty pour. And there's lots of them. If you like a video on actually doing this type of artwork, let me know. Put it in the comments. I'll see what I can do about making some of these, because this is a fun thing to do. But yeah, let me know in the comments if this is what you like to see. So now the fun starts. A lot of people use gloves for that, but this is just our acrylic paint, so it doesn't bother. It washes right off, so I don't bother. So you'll see where the extra paint comes from now that we're going to make our jewelry out of. So you just move it around. This is fast motion, of course, because it's kind of slow getting that paint going. So this you want to get it. You want to thin it out a bit, but not too thin, not too thick. You'll learn in time. Once that's done, I'll just put this aside. That's actually going to make a neat little coaster. It's going to look pretty sharp. We'll just put that aside, let it dry. And here's our drippings that we're going to turn into skins. Again, just like I did previously with the glass. I move the silicone and just move it around until I thin it out a bit, and then get some patterns in there that I think might look nice for jewelry. We'll just kind of get it all together here and see what we can come up with here. We'll try to fill the holes. Yeah, look at some of that gold. That's going to be nice. So there we go. We'll let that dry now. You got to let it dry at least overnight, sometimes 2 days. I usually wait 3 days because depending on your humidity and stuff, it can get a little tacky. So here it is, I think 3 days later. Excuse me. So we'll just peel it off in the silicone here. The hardest part is getting started with course I have no nails. But you got to be very careful with it because it tears extremely easy. So you see I'm just gently trying to pull it up, going slow. Pulling the bigger piece you get, sometimes it's easier. If you get straggly little things, it's a little harder. But we'll just kind of lift it up here. And it's coming along. All right. Now you got to watch here. See this end catching? Now that'll cause a big tear, and you might end up with a tear and a nice piece you actually wanted. It's kind of a burnout. Anyway, so here we are with the wax paper one, the very first one that I poured. And you can see I don't like wax paper. It comes off the wax paper, but it's just not as nice. Here I am speeding it up here because it's trying to get it off here is quite time consuming without tearing it. So you get all that off. And then here we are now. These are the bezels, all kinds of different shapes, styles of them you can get. This is what we're actually gonna make our jewelry from. So we'll pick up one, and then we'll look around, see what we see, and where something might look. And then this type of thing, when you spot it, you'll know it. Like, hey, that's just gonna work. I just like that right there. And then that's on this side. And the other side, you don't know what you're gonna get because it's different on the other side too. As you see here, when I cut it out. So I've got this flipped over to cut it out. Use a razor blade to cut it with, because it's soft paint. Really, is what it is. It's not quite hard yet, completely hard after a couple of days. So showing you can use almost anything for this. This is actually the back of that painting that I just did earlier. It's all dried. So then I'll cut it. You don't have to get one of them self-healing mats. I think they're green usually. You don't need one of them. You can just use a piece of wood, or you'll see later on here I use glass. I like using glass. So then you just mess with it, trim it up, pick at it, go slow, because like, if you pull too hard on that, it'll tear off. I'm telling you, I've ruined more of them. And then you try and fit. Oh, look at that! Perfect, awesome. That's gonna work great. So here we are with another 3 that I've got going here. This time I'm on a piece of glass, and I push them down hard, make sure they get sealed in there, and then I cut out. I find cutting it out on the glass it's easier. It seems to cut through it better. I guess because it's such a hard surface. So this, of course, is all sped up because it's quite a slow process. But I get these all cut out nicely. Sometimes you just gotta flip them up. You gotta trim. You gotta mess, poke around, whatever it takes to get them out of there without cutting them or getting holes in them or something happening. So there we go. We're getting them all trimmed out nice. Okay, now this duct tape, which everybody should have because it's absolutely the most awesome tape you can have. Sticky, it's extremely sticky. But anyways, I'm using that for this purpose. You can buy the proper tape for resin, but this I find works just as well. I'm almost convinced it's the same tape, really, but much cheaper. So of course we're going to use UV resin for this. You can use regular resin if you want, but I like the UV. It's quick and it's easy. Thicker, less air bubbles. Small things like this, UV resin is really the way to go. So I just fill this in with UV resin. Well, I don't fill it in. I just kind of put one layer, whatever that layer is, when I start pouring it in there like that. That's what I go with. Like you see there, I'll stop there now. That's enough in there. And then you want to poke it around, especially in the corners. Make sure you get in the corners and on the sides. And you poke around with it a bit, make sure there's no air bubbles, make sure it's all covered. Nice, smooth, even coating in there. And then once you have that done, you got to cure it. We cure it under ultraviolet light. Here I use This is actually an ultraviolet light thing for nails. Women, you know all about it. So once it's out of there, it's hard. You tap on it, make sure it's hard, and then we start putting it together, I guess you would say. So this is our first one we were doing. It's best to use tweezers with this because it's finicky. It's finicky, but you'll get it. You just gotta take your time, mess around till you get it in there. And there we are. And now it's in there properly. Now we take our UV resin again. We put the coat on this. So basically, what's happening is you've got this paint skin sandwiched in between two fairly thick layers of UV resin. So it's sealed there. It's sealed pretty good. So again, we'll take a stick and gently make sure you got it ready. Be careful on this because you don't want to push on the paint skin underneath it because you're going to jar it out of place. Again, we put it under the lights for 60 seconds or so. And we bring it out and it's all cured up, and let's see what happens here now. See what we got. See, it just peels right off this. Look at that. Peels right off. Wow, nice abstracty side on that one. Oh, that's cool. That's pretty nice. Focus. Yeah, look at that. Oh, that's beautiful. Love that. Give that abstract, boys. You got some red and black. Perfect. I'm not quite finished with you yet, but anyway, we'll get to that. So here's the other three that we were doing. They went through the first run of resin, been cured. So now this is the second time around when we start filling them in, putting our pieces, our paint skins inside our pieces. So we put them in there, and you gotta watch. See, I was almost using the tweezers to start pushing down on this. I've done that before, and I've ruined more pieces that way. I end up poking holes in them or tear them or something. So I use a lot of these super thin popsicle sticks type thing. Like they're like coffee stirrers, I guess is what they are. Awesome, they're great. I put the point on one end for the resin, you can see on the tip of that. And then I use the other end for poking around, doing all kinds of stuff with them. They're great to have. There, that's what I really like this one. Yeah, this is gonna be pretty cool. Look at that. It's gonna be sharp. Anyway, same thing again. I poke around on the sides, make sure its corners are in all the way, the sides are in all the way. Pushing down, dabbling at it. Yeah, we want to push down with your finger a bit, make sure the middle and all that, there's no air bubbles or nothing in there. It's in there good. All right. Now, UV resin again. Same thing again. This time you're basically trying to get it up to the thickness of the bezel itself, which is just about right on this one. The way these pour out, that thickness is just about right, so you don't have to mess with it too much. So I'm just kind of making sure it's all covered in there good. And the next one, same thing again. Sometimes they go around the edges and sometimes they start from the middle, and I don't know. There's no real right or wrong way. As long as you get it in there, it's all good. This time I just seem to like going around the edges first and then to the middle. Like I said, you can take your time with this resin because it's UV resin. It won't cure unless it's in sunlight or a UV light of some sort. So there we go. We have them done. See what they look like. There's one. There's two. Here comes three. there we have it. So there we go, we got all 4 of them. Now if you flip them over, this was the paint side, or the tape side was down. So sometimes, for some reason or other, that's a little wrinkly or something. It's not quite right. So I just, on them, a lot of times I'll put another layer on them. Another layer of resin, UV resin. So here, this is what I'm going to do here now. Add another thin, this is probably about as thin as you can get this layer here. You don't want to pile it in there too much. Just more spreading it around than I am pouring it in there. So go around the edge here a bit. It's kind of a layer, and then I'll swish it around. Make sure it's all in there. Now we're back poking around. This is high speed, of course. Poking around, getting the air bubbles out, etc., etc. Now this is another UV. This is UV. It's the same thing as your nail thing, except this is a flashlight version of it. Which sometimes for some of these small things, this is all I do. But you got to keep moving it around and around. It does the same thing. It just puts a bright UV light, just in a small flashlight form. So there we are. We're gonna, over the other side now, we're gonna put kind of a dome on the side that we like best. So we put another layer on here and build it up in the middle more so, and it creates a bit of a dome and gives it a more glossy, nicer look to it. So we'll do that. We'll get them all ready. UV light here, cure them. Okay, now we got them all cured. Look on this one now. You can see I got a bit of resin over on the side there. I put a little too much in it. So grab my razor blade and without saying too much, you know how careful you got to be. There is other tools and stuff you can use on this that are actually, well, much safer. But I'm trying to show you, to start out, if you want to start out in this stuff or just play around with it, you don't need anything fancy. So there we go. That's all big stuff. Zoom in a bit. Look at that. Oh man. Pretty nice, eh? Isn't that cool? Look at the gold. Look at the white and black. The red and white. Awesome. Focus, focus. There we go. Look at that. Absolutely gorgeous. Ah? Oh, I love these. I love these. Wow. Pretty nice. Oh, yes. Very nice, eh? Very nice. Yep, I'm pleased with these. There's that abstracty looking on the back there, but if you were wearing pink, I guess, and and white, it look great. Back of that one's gonna absolutely perfect black and white. You know, if you're wearing black and white, it's perfect for it. So the gold on this side. We'll see what the other side looks like here. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not really struck on that one, but I mean, who knows? This, I absolutely love this. I like that. I like that a lot. Wow, that's pretty. Actually, that's pretty cool. Actually, it's, you know, I mean, it's hard to keep the reflection out with the light, but it's pretty cool. Now we get these rings, so we can put them on something. I just bet there's tools and stuff for this, or some people use 2 pairs of pliers. I just thought they bend easy. I just use my 1 pair of pliers and my fingers. Sometimes I use both fingers, but it's much easier to line it up right here like this when you have a pair of pliers. So we'll do the rest of these. Now we can go with some chains, ropes, strings, whatever you want. Of course, you can like put a ring on them for a keychain or whatever you like to do. These I'm going to make these into necklaces. These ones, I think. So I use a nice gold necklace for that one because it's gold. Should look pretty sharp. Yeah. Pretty nice. Yep. I like it. Alright. Next we'll go with a silver chain. This is a nice silver snake chain. One of my favorite chains. Look at that. Wow. Makes it, eh? Just makes it. Yeah. Gonna set that one there for a second. We'll do the other ones. So this one is black, like that black leather. Look at that. The black and that, and the antique gold type frame around it. Really looks sharp. You could go with the gold on that too. Now these, they come all different colors. It's like, I don't know what it is, woven vinyl of some kind, or some sort of make leather thing or something. Anyways, they come all colored. Look at that with the white. The white, oh, just perfect. Look. Hey. I don't know about you, but I like them. So some other ones that I've done is these type things with earrings, necklaces, and bracelets. Again, another necklace, earrings, all sorts of stuff. So again, subscribe so you check up on things and see what's happening, and like my channel, and we'll see you next time.